Hello, mga adlaw sa tanan. I'm Ryan Macasero, multimedia reporter for Rappler, and we are back in Manila still following the case of the slaying of former Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo. We just came from Negros Oriental, where we covered the burial of the late governor in Shaton Town. So we are here at the Department of Justice, where the DOJ just wrapped up its joint press conference with the PNP and the AFP and the DILG on the latest developments of the Degamo case. So the latest is that another suspect surrendered over the weekend and is being processed for preliminary investigation. He was recently turned over to the NBI. All Secretary Abalos said about his profile was that he was named in the initial batch of suspects but was not specific which one, and that this latest suspect has significant information on the case. AFP General Centino also said that this fourth suspect is ex-military and was discharged in 2016. So to go over how many suspects have been arrested or surrendered so far, four have been arrested by the Joint Task Force. One has been killed, and the latest is just surrendered for a total of 6 suspects. 30 complaints have been filed against the suspects, at least 9 for murder and 15 for frustrated murder and 3 for attempted murder. The Degamo family has already tagged Arnie Teves, 3rd District Representative of Negros Oriental Province, as the mastermind, although he has not been named as the mastermind by the Joint Task Force. When we asked Justice Secretary Remulla if they are building a case against Teves specifically, he did not mention Teves as the person they're building up a case against, but that they were building up a case against the mastermind. So stopping short of naming Teves as the mastermind in the Degamo slaying, although they had already went ahead and filed cases against him for 3 other murders in 2019. This is for the murder of Miguel Dungog, who is a former board member of Negros Oriental Province and is an ally of the late Governor Roel Degamo, Lester Pialago Bato from Bayawan Town, and Pasito Reyes Lebron. Mayor Janice Degamo of Pamplona Town is also the governor's wife, is also expected to come here to Manila later this week to talk to government officials and her lawyers regarding the case. So she was quite busy last week with the vigil and the burial of Governor Degamo, who was buried in his family property in Shaton Town, where at least 10,000 residents and supporters came out to pay their last respects, and we were there to cover it. You can check our coverage on Rappler. And to go back to why all eyes are on Teves is because he was tagged by the Degamo family as the mastermind in the slaying of the governor in Pamplona Town last March 4, where 8 others were killed and at least 17 others injured. They're they're political rivals. So Teves' brother Henry actually won the election at first in May 2022, but was unseated when Roel Degamo filed a protest and was given, and he one candidate who had a similar name, Roel Degamo, was declared a nuisance candidate belatedly, and those votes were given to Roel Degamo, making him essentially governor several months after the election had already passed. And so these latest complaints to be filed against the suspects, let me go over that, is 30, there are at least 30 complaints, 9 for murder, 15 for frustrated murder, and 3 for attempted murder. And for Teves, aside from the murder complaints, several of his houses have already been raided in Bayawan and in other properties in Negros Oriental, and faces illegal possession of weapons and explosives complaints. So he has not yet returned to the country. His lawyer previously said that he is likely not to return. He was given a deadline by House Speaker Martin Romualdez to return to the Philippines by today, March 20, and he has not yet returned to the country. And I wanted to emphasize again that the complaints are not just related to the killing of Degamo, but to the others who were there that day. Many of them were beneficiaries of a cash aid program for peace the Four Ps program, and I wanted to read the names of the others who were killed with him, and that they are Jesse Botay, Jose Marie Ramirez, Jomar Canseco, Crispin Vallega, Jerome Makiling, Florendo Kinikito, Joseph Retada, and Michael Fubugais. So you've been watching Rappler Recap. Thank you so much for joining us, and please continue to follow us as we continue to cover this case. Again, I'm Ryan Macasero, Rappler, Manila.